Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Night of the Rant Table. This is a Bad Spawn production by Sean at bandspawn.com, where I sit here and I will rant just for, like, who knows how long. And I think the topic of this episode, the first episode, is going to be Pokemon. Because I love Pokemon, don't we all love Pokemon? Pokemon is great, and I have been playing Pokemon X. I have it. I played I played one playthrough first, which I basically just shot through the game, beginning to end, to the, well, obviously not end, because the game doesn't end. I got to the Elite Four, beat the champion, blah blah blah, did all that, and then I started again. And what I have to say of that experience, that part of the game, it is quality from beginning to end, because it is rather long, and the game obviously wants you to take in the scenery and everything that is to offer in the game, which I love. I love that aspect of the game, because in previous games, especially Generation 3, I'm looking straight at that, because in that game it was just like, alright, go from this zone, alright, you have to go straight to this zone, and then you have to do this, 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 and this. And it's like, okay, maybe some team, whatever the fuck they call it in the third generation, and then you have to just go gym, Elite Four, champion, end. That's it. That was Generation 3, and that left me sorely disappointed in the game. Because I have played every generation. I'm not trying to brag, but I have. And it's like, yeah, Generation 3, Generation 4, it did its job. Generation 5, holy shit, oh my god, they redeemed themselves. And then Generation 6 is amazing. In my second playthrough right now, I am taking in more of the surroundings. In that game, I am, like, exploring every single little crevice of Lumiere City, and you know, I'm exploring for missing items. I actually got my very first evolved Pokemon in any game that I've ever played, which is a Steelix. I got Rob, who you may know from Bad Spawn. I got him to just, you know, trade my Onix back and forth, and I got a Steelix, and that thing is sick. It is really dope. And it's funny because in the second playthrough I just thought, oh, you know, it might be a different experience playing as a female, so I chose the female character. Yeah, it's a different experience, but from a whole different perspective. Let me fucking tell you what. Alright, so we have males, mainly from Asian countries, you know, just trying to trade with you constantly. They think because, okay, I'm not trying to be sexist here, but this is literally how it works. They think because you are a female, you are going to trade your strongest Pokemon to them, or rarest, or something, and expect that a Bidoof will do. No, that's not gonna work. Because they, like, actually I did get a shiny Butterfree out of it, which is pretty cool. It was level 44, and I was like, alright, whatever. So I sent him a level 1 Bidoof, and he was happy with that, and, yeah, so, basically, there's cool aspects of the game. Mega Evolution has, like, did we need that? Yeah, we did. Holy crap, like, so in my second playthrough, I have my, oh, what do they call it? The frog starter Pokemon, God, I don't know his name. Ninja something. Greninja, yeah, Greninja. And I've got the Greninja. That's my very first starter. I've got Venusaur, and I've got the Blaziken. Venusaur and Blaziken can Mega Evolve, and like, yeah, like because I don't know what it is about Venusaur, because when you look at him, you think, okay, this is a large, bulky Pokemon. You think it's going to be slow but really strong. Try the opposite. He's really fast, but really not all that strong. So his Mega Evolution is fast and strong, and it's just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, that's that's basically what Venusaur needed. Because in my last playthrough, I had Charizard. That just turns him into an OP monster. And I don't know about Blastoise because I haven't tried that yet, but he looks cool. And the Blaziken, he just levels up way too fast. I can't keep up with that monster. He's crazy. Like, when my other Pokemon are hitting like level 34, he's hitting like 45. So if you don't have him yet, just like do it because you need him. And I want to talk about all the new Pokemon in this generation too, because holy crap, man, there's some cool fucking Pokemon. Like, there's Pokemon that is literally a sword, and then there's a Pokemon, the evolution of the sword is 2 swords, and then the evolution of that is 1 sword with a shield and 2 arms, which is awesome. And I still have not been able to catch one of those yet. I haven't found it, but when I do, man, will I be doing that. Excuse me. So yeah, Pokemon, man. Pokemon's crazy. And like, because I think I've said it before, I've been playing the games like my whole life. So there is a part of nostalgia that I get from playing the game, but X and Y gives me more nostalgia towards Pokemon Stadium than anything else, because the fighting scenes is like the animation, the cinematography, like the Pokemon have idle animations, like they don't just stand there like looking at each other. They'll yawn, or they'll, you know, do that battle cry, or they'll jump up and down, or whatever. It's just, it's something. It's really something, the fighting. And it does give me a hell of a lot of nostalgia going back, you know, all those years when I would just like chuck the game in, like, into my 64 and then just battle through with my friends, or solo campaign, or whatever. And like, I think it adds more strategy, because back when I would play the Pokemon games, like the, you know, red and blue, gold and silver, all that shit, it, like, you didn't really have a strategy. The only strategy was what type is good against this Pokemon. Like, when I would play Pokemon Stadium, that's when more strategy would come into it. So it does give me that better sense of nostalgia, I think, because I would think about when I would play Pokemon Stadium and be like, oh man, well, this Pokemon's got this stat on it, blah blah blah, and like, I should really. And then it hits the training too. Like, I would go into EV training, IV training, and then like Super training, I think, is a new thing that they've got. I haven't tried that yet, actually, but I can see why people would. And it's just fantastic, man. Like, if you don't have this game, seriously, I recommend you go get it. But then, as these games generally tend to do, I think they try and really hit you with doing as much that the game has to offer as it can. Because I got the 2DS, okay? I'm going to talk about that a little later, but I got the 2DS. I don't know if this happens on the 3DS, I assume it does, but when you connect to the internet, the touchpad will just flash with a whole lot of different alerts. Like, this area is where people come to battle, and this area is where people come to fucking jack off, and this is where people come to, you know, trade. And it's just like, fuck you, just shut the fuck up. Like, I just want to play the game, and like, if someone wants to trade with me, or if I want to trade with someone, then let it just happen. Don't. Like, just let me discover these things about the game. Like, having all those alerts at the bottom is like, it's turning me off want to do all that stuff. It's like, why can't I just discover that? Like, I know there's buttons down there, and I'll get to clicking them eventually. Just let it happen, guys. Like, that's what a game's all about. Like, it's not like, oh man, there's a button down there, I'm not going to press that because something, you know, it's going to kill all my Pokemon and then I'm going to have to start again. And it's like that, no. Just, like, no one's afraid of hitting buttons on a game. That's what they're there for, to be hit. Like, just stop, calm down, chill out for a second. The game's been out for, what, a week, maybe 2? Calm down. Calm the fuck down, people will figure it out. And yeah. Anyway. And, I mean, I also wanted to talk about one very quick thing before I go on to the 2DS. I want to talk about how every generation seems to have had a Pikachu clone. Now, we know that Generation 2, Pichu. Yes, pre-evolution of Pikachu. Clearly, whatever. 3rd generation, not sure. 4th generation had Pachirisu, which is a squirrel electric type. 5th generation had a flying mouse or raccoon or something that looked like Pikachu. Clearly a Pikachu clone. 6th generation, there is Dedenne. Dedenne. Now this Pokemon, it looks like a small Raichu. It has round ears, it is small and fat, and it doesn't have like much in the way of arms. And it's got a long tail too. And it's orange, and it's got, you know, the cheeks like the Chew family. And it looks, and the thing is, like, it's electric and fairy type. So the thing is, I think the reason that Pokemon exists is because they thought about giving fairy type to the, you know, Pichu, Pikachu, Raichu, but they couldn't, because clearly, if they were to do that, that would fuck up the whole storyline of the anime, and it's just a thing that they couldn't do, but it would make absolute sense if they did, because all the other small Pokemon, like Marill, like, back before Generation 2 came out, there were rumors that Generation 2 was going to have a Pokemon called Pokeblue, or Pika-Blue, and that turned into Marill, because Marill looks a lot like the Pikachus, except he's not at all. But they gave Marill and Azumarill, whatever. They gave him fairy type, and as well as water, and now he's basically immune to, well, he's just normal against electric type now, which is annoying. But it would make absolute sense if Pikachu, Raichu were fairy types, but they gave it to this Dedenne, which looks like a Chew. Looks exactly what, if Raichu was not Pikachu's evolution, it would be Dedenne's evolution. So yeah. Oh shit. I just dropped scissors on my legs. And yeah. And it just seems like if they're gonna give, and I know there's a clone of just about every Pokemon in every game, because when you think about it, like, there's the bird type that's in every zone. There's the Caterpie. There's the fucking Rattata. There's the everything. Everything has it. So I know I shouldn't be all that critical. Now I'm gonna go on to the 2DS. The 2DS, people have been giving that console flack. I have a 2DS. The 2DS is nice. It's like, it doesn't fit in my pocket, but I don't feel the need to bring it out in public with me. Like, if I go to a convention and I want to do street pass and stuff, I'll put it in a bag. I usually bring a bag with me on conventions and stuff. Like, not a backpack, like a satchel sort of thing. That's what I usually bring with me to conventions. So that's what I'll do. And everyone's saying, like, oh man, it's gonna snap in half, like, you'll break it on the first second you get it. It is actually more sturdy than you'd think. It feels just about as sturdy and as brick-like as my Game Boy Color, which I compared it to the feel. It feels just as sturdy. And, like, I know, oh, feeling just as sturdy doesn't mean shit, because blah blah blah, but I never once broke my Game Boy Color. It is still working. That thing is gonna work for as long as possible, I think. Like, I'm gonna grow up with that thing. Well, I mean, I'm 21, but yeah. Anyway, stop bashing on the 2DS. That thing is great. Pokemon, blah blah blah, Team Rocket, Knights of the Round Table, Bad Spawn. Okay. This is a Bad Spawn production. Please go check out badspawn.com and subscribe to our YouTube page and our podcast, I Know Your Face, featuring Rob, Sean, Travis Mack, Mitch, and James if he's still alive. And, please, please also things and stuff.